What's up, you guys? I want to make a quick video, or at least I'm going to try to, talking about training every day on a total gym or sliding bench trainer. So answering the question, can you work out every day using this machine, not just with alternating body parts, like doing an upper body day, then a lower body the next day. I'm talking about doing sequential body parts, maybe even the total body every single day using this machine, because I get this question often. So before I do that, guys, as always, it's immensely helpful if you guys do like and or subscribe. It's a little thing you guys can do. Definitely it helps benefit and support the channel. Now, most people intuitively already know this, whether they're kind of like formally taught this or not, that when you work a particular muscle group, you should give it some rest period, some time off. The general recommendation that is given in most like exercise science, curriculums or textbooks or whatever, basically is 48 hours. So that if you work a particular body part or area like your upper body or chest on Monday, you would rest at least approximately 48 hours. So then you'd work it again basically on that Wednesday. And this also works out pretty good because it allows you to ideally hit that sweet spot of training a body part or area at least twice a week, which is also generally recommended. And keeping in mind, these are just some general guidelines. Everyone's different. Just because it says twice a week is ideal, someone has different injuries or you might recover a little bit differently, doesn't mean we have to always do this, but that's like a general kind of guideline. And if you checked out any of my programs or any of my previous program design videos I've made, which is found on my, it's labeled programs playlist on my YouTube channel, I, for the most part, incorporate the same, rules, so to speak, in all my programs where I allow at least 48 hours rest between a body part or area. And that's basically kind of, even though my workouts do change slightly a little bit, possibly each week, for the most part, I do the same kind of sequence where I'll do an upper body day where it's working chest, shoulders, back, and arms on a total gym or sliding bench trainer. And the next day, I might do some lower body stuff, or I might do some indoor rowing, which predominantly is legs, even though you're working your arms as well. Maybe some outdoor, just like running. It's getting colder out, so I probably won't do that as much anymore. Or I might just take the day off. But that's kind of like somewhat of a template that I'm doing. But there definitely have been days where I'll do an upper body workout or work kind of the same body part, like sequentially back to back, for a number of reasons, which again, I'll discuss briefly. In fact, the day I'm recording this, I might even do such a workout, just like a small, shorter workout, just kind of get the blood flowing, so to speak. Which is what I'll get into right now, which is why would someone want to train every day in the first place? Some people just want shorter, more frequent sessions. Similarly, some people just want to work the whole body and just find it easier to accomplish instead of like these long workouts and doing it like maybe longer 60-minute plus workouts, maybe 45 minutes, just to kind of do small small total body workouts back to back. So it's kind of less focused on a particular area. And some find it just kind of somewhat energizing to just jump in the total gym, just kind of go through a series of movements and motions and kind of limber up a bit, get the blood flowing. Or they just have a busy schedule and fitting in 10 to 15 minutes is all they kind of have while still trying to keep their sanity, because we all have busy schedules, and even though we might have the time to put in, it just can be a lot of mental stress to feel like I gotta do another 45 minutes of some harder focused workout. So it's easier and more approachable to just do something that's a little bit shorter and easier on the body, but I might do a little bit more frequency to make up for that lack of like focus in a whole session. Going back to the original point, kind of getting into these general guidelines, do you have to completely shut down all your body parts for the day to give them a total day of rest? That's some people's mentality. I understand that. The answer is definitely, I'd say no, but I'd also say it somewhat depends. Like everything, context is everything. And if we had more time, which believe me, in all these videos, I can go on much longer because I want to get in more depth and answer some questions I know people might have. But simply just getting into it, people's age, even gender factors into this. How much workout you did in the last session or your totality of work you did in that week is going to factor into this. Any previous nagging injuries in a body part, your nutrition, and your overall management of stress could all impact these things that factor into your overall recovery from workout to workout. But just because you worked let's say your arms or your chests on one day, definitely doesn't mean that your body has to shut down those body parts in order to fully recover. I'm sure there's some people maybe yelling at the screens right now or yelling at me right now, but basic common sense will tell you that there's plenty of people out there that do very labor-intensive, repetitive jobs that are somewhat very stressful on their particular body part or area. Where again, they're placed under repeated stress on a daily, weekly, and yearly basis. I know you guys probably know many people like that too. You've met people like that in your life. They're just kind of like physically built because of their job. And the point is, your body can adapt to that, so to speak. And definitely you can overdo it, and you'd be kind of mindful of those things. So just because you can doesn't always necessarily mean that you should. So to get to the point, yes, you can train every day with a total gym. Now, I'd still incorporate at least some off days, or maybe something you call like cross training days with other things. But considering that if you're not having any like long, grueling, long sessions, and you're not doing a whole lot of volume, like a lot of reps and sets, although even that I think is something your body can somewhat adapt to, I think for the most part you'll be fine. And the great thing is, like, well, how do you know about this? People have these questions like, how do I know if I'm doing too much or too little? We didn't come with like a training manual on our recovery and what exactly we're supposed to do, but the great thing is our body gives us these signs if we just listen to them. When our body tells us, hey, this is too much for that particular area, or too much for this, or you need like a whole day off to relax. And I think most people can attest to this as well. At the Total Gym, compared to like free weights and other traditional plate loaded resistance training and stuff like that, the Total Gym or other slotting bench trainers is much more forgiving to the body. And I've heard a lot of you guys say that, and I've heard people kind of make the same analogy to other things like resistance bands, people that do calisthenics. These groups also tend to do a lot more. They'll do some body parts even sequentially, even total body back to back, and they feel like it doesn't affect them too much. So how do you know if you should or should not train every day? I'd say one simple thing is if you want to train every day, I'd say just go ahead and do it. If training every day makes you more likely to adhere to using the machine, that's great. Just listen to your body and don't go overboard on a particular body part. But again, ultimately, I just say just listen to your body. If it becomes something, your psychology will tell you if it's too much. When it gets to the point where you're like, okay, you no longer want to do this every day, that's a good indication of your body saying, hey, let's pump the brakes and let's take a day off or rest some particular area. And I think having schedules and programs are great, but I also just don't like rigid training stances, and I personally avoid these kind of mentalities where I say to my mind, okay, I'm going to start training every day. But if I start ignoring what the signs my body is telling me, regardless of whatever type of training program it is, then that can be something you got to be mindful about. And there's plenty of people, that seems like common sense, that just break that rule. They get into like a training program or a modality that says something, and they throw out any kind of their own personal psychology of what their body's telling them, and they just go with whatever the program is saying. Now, there is a lot more I could add to this, so if you guys want me to make another video or programmed video on this that kind of gets into the more nuances and details, I can get into that. Because in this video, I didn't really address how effective it is one way or the other training every day versus specific body parts and splits, but because this video just stretched way too long. And I know there's a lot of you out there who are doing something like this, and I've heard this from a lot of you guys before. So please comment down below if you guys are doing something like this or something similar, because I think it'll help a lot of people out. And if you have any other questions, comments, feedback, please let me know and I'll try and address them. But as always, hopefully this video is beneficial for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.